When looking at developing this option program, what we wanted to get away from is just the traditional way of learning in which every student learns the exact information at the exact same time, tests on the same day. We can't treat students exactly the same because they're not. They all learn in different ways. So in order to truly personalize this learning experience, we created a learning environment where students can truly customize their daily schedule in the 4 core areas. If they want to work on math for 3 hours, let them work on math for 3 hours. But we have a bell schedule now that interrupts that learning, and students have to continually refocus. So within this space, students design what their day looks like. If a student wants to test, why do they have to wait for everyone to test on the exact same day? They should be able to test whenever they want. We want students to be able to empower their learning while developing the following soft skills, which is going to make them successful adults. And that is being able to time management, advocate for themselves, collaborate, communicate, build resiliency, problem solve. These are all skills that we know that students need to be successful adults. If you were to ask adults, parents, community members, what do you want your students to be able to know before they leave high school to be successful? It's not necessarily know the Pythagorean theorem or truly understand the Constitution. It's the skills that students develop, these soft skills built over time, that will truly make them successful.
I was in high school from 1947 to 1951, which is well over 60 years ago. And it's obviously much different than it is now.
I was in high school from the year 2000 to 2004, and at that time computers were just making it into classrooms.
Everything was done by books, pencil.
And cell phones almost didn't exist for students. Texting hadn't started yet. I think texting started while I was in high school, but most people didn't have cell phones.
Certainly didn't have the means of communication the students have now.
There was no ability to hop on YouTube and check out a video to make sure I really understood what was going on.
The way Mayfield is doing it right now, and other school districts, it's a whole new world of education. I think it's an excellent idea. Obviously, it isn't for everyone.
I want to be clear, the option isn't necessarily for everybody. It's a chance for a student who wants to get after it to really see what it looks like when they're given the power to control the way and the pace that they learn.
It's a volunteer program. There's no criteria. You don't have to be a top student to be able to get into the program, which I think is good.
What's the difference between option and a normal block schedule?
So your normal block schedule, you go through the day and you do the same things at the same time every day, and it's like, you know, what you consider normal classes. But in the option, see, I have 3 option periods, so during those periods I can work on whatever of the things I need to get done for those 3 class subjects that I have, so it's different a lot. I do like being the option. I like it a lot just because of the freedom that I get of when I want to do my work, so I can get ahead in other classes and I can work at my own pace. I would recommend this to a lot of my friends because I know that they can focus in and get the work done, and it's easier to like go at your own pace if that's your kind of style.
For the students and for the teachers too, it's especially this first year, it's a learning experience. It's how students will learn a lot in college the same way. So it's really an introduction to that. If they needed more on a certain subject, they could spend that time on that subject, even if it was the whole day, just on the one subject, until they learned it, and then they could go on to whatever other subjects they needed during the rest of the week. comes into play of their time management. And then they are the ones that are going to have to do that, although the teachers certainly can monitor their progress and make sure that they're staying ahead.
And some students are going to find out that it's a place where they thrive and they really can drive their learning in directions where they want to go. And others are going to importantly learn that it's a space where they need to set up some serious coping strategies for themselves so that they can be as successful as they need to be.
There's a sharing of thoughts, sharing of ideas, and I think this provides students with an opportunity to do this and be better prepared in the workforce.
And I think having the opportunity to do that in high school is really critical so that students can know that about themselves before we send them off to college, and then they're plopped into a world where, whether they've got any experience with it or not, they have to be able to work independently.